Hello everyone, I'm Zero Convoy, and today we are taking a look at the PlayArt's Kai Tifa Lockhart from the Final Fantasy VII Remake. This figure is made by Square Enix, and I got it from HobbyLink Japan. Links in the description below. Tifa Lockhart is one of the more iconic characters from the Final Fantasy series, the go-to for many people when it comes to the best girl. After many years of trying to get a hold of said best girl, I am finally happy to have a very articulated and well-made figure of her. Now this is the remake design, so keep that in mind. And with that, let's get right to it. So, being from the PlayArt's Kai line, a line that is known to be pretty high quality, pretty high articulation in details and so on, this figure is very well done. The paint, the attention to detail, it's just amazing. For example, on the arm brace, it has such very nice color separation. The leather detail on the skirt and belts, just amazing. And the fact that the little buckles on her suspenders have absolutely zero to no paint bleeding is just amazing. To get that small level of detail that's just wow. I could never do that. And the hair, it's detailed, the streaks are there. You can tell while it is plastic, you can just see all the different strands they put into it. Just amazing detail and quality here. And of course, being Tifa, her assets are well defined as well. All in all, I would almost say that this figure is perfectly painted and sculpted. Almost. Now her face does have some points of controversy over it. Some people pointed out that on her early prototype designs and stuff, that her face didn't exactly look like the game model. And even looking at the box art here and the promotional art and stuff, even on this, the final copy, it doesn't exactly look one-to-one. But I will say, having messed with this figure and having it around for about a week or so, I don't really see it. And I think the sculpting is really well done. However, my issue with the figure is not the sculpting, but the painting. On my particular copy, for the default face, it looks like she's missing a tiny bit of her eyebrow. Not really a big deal. It's a very small and tiny thing, but it's enough to, well, it honestly does bug me. Just that little I would paint it myself, but I don't want to risk doing anything to ruin it, so I'll just let it be. But yeah, that little niche right there is just have to knock some points off of this one. However, we can swap her face out, but we'll get more on that later. For now, let's jump into articulation. This figure is very articulated. She can do a good amount of poses, like a real good amount. From having a toe bend to ball joint on the wrists to even a hidden neck joint that allows her to have more head articulation. And with the soft plastic skirt and various other places that are a very flexible and movable plastic, her articulation has just really no limits to it. Except she does have some balance issues, and I think this is more from her hair being kind of back heavy. However, we can fix that with the provided stand. So now we're moving on to accessories. The provided stand works really well. It's easily assembled. However, I did have to take a screwdriver to tighten up a bit. Tifa was, forgive me for saying this, a bit too heavy right out of the box for it, but nothing a screwdriver can't fix, just need a Phillips head. And now she can do her proper MMA poses in the air, which honestly this figure definitely needs. However, I have to say, I'm not really a fan of the color or the way it connects. I don't really like the idea of the stand being this kind of almost solidish brown color. I'm guessing I'm too used to the Bandai Tamashii stands being a clear color, but for what it is, here it works really well. My other issue is that since it is a brown color and I have to essentially clamp it around her waist, I'm kind of on a mixed bag about that. I like the idea that I don't have to have a hole in her back or plug the stand up her skirt or something. But on the flip side, if it's going to clamp around, at least make it clear. In addition to the stand, we get a various assortment of hands, which unlike my PlayArt's Kai Cloud, they are so much easier to remove. No hassle, no anything, and I don't have to run her hands under hot water to loosen it up. Then we have the other face. I'm guessing it's meant to show a more serious look opposed to her neutral look. And then we have the two alternate hairs. Basically, they're more action hair poses. However, for whatever reason, I can only show off one because the other one had some weird gunk in it I tried to remove, and every time I put it on her, it doesn't fit properly and just easily falls apart. So unfortunately, we can't really see what this one looks on her, but I can show you off the other one. And it works really well. The action poses you can pull off with this one are amazing, and I think it really adds to this figure. My only real issue with it is that how to remove it. I was honestly scared I was going to snap a ball joint replacing and removing the hair, because essentially it's popping off her whole head. But after doing it for a little bit, I'm used to it. It's fine. And I guess while we're here, there is one thing that I do find a bit mildly annoying. Not bad, just a little bit annoying. Her suspenders, both on the front and the back, are not locked in at all. They are extremely movable. Any pose you do, they will move around and you can easily reset them, but it does kind of bug me. But I'm guessing the alternative would be these suspenders would then be molded into her figure rather than just being loose. So again, I'm kind of split. I like how they did it. I just wish it wasn't as loose as it is. Moving on to the size comparisons. And here we have Tifa next to PlayArt's Kai Cloud. Overall, I like this figure. Very well done, very sturdy, and very articulated. Everything about this figure is amazing, and even though I do have those complaints, it's really nothing that takes away from this figure. The articulation is just top tier. The stand, once tightened, is actually able to support her really well. And while I'm not a fan of the head swapping gimmick, it could be a lot worse. One thing I really wish Square Enix did though was provide more faces. And this isn't about the paint issue. This is because Tifa is a very expressionate character, especially in the remake. And I would love to have more faces than just these two similarly faced faces. Something a little more dynamic than two very neutral faces. So I wish they gave you more faces rather than what we got. So regardless of that, I am super happy to have this figure. Very detailed, very articulated Tifa from one of my favorite games of all time is a welcome addition to this collection here. And while I don't plan on picking up the whole line because that would be pretty crazy at this price point, I do have a handful I'm definitely waiting on, and I'll eventually review them. So while we wait, why don't you check out HobbyLink Japan? While Tifa herself is not in stock, they do have her recently released dress version up for pre-order, and you have your choice of the PlayArt's Kai version or the static version. So check out the affiliated links below, help support me and keep me going as a creator. And thank you for stopping by. Make sure to check out my socials for more anime and figure related content, and I'll see you all in the next video.